MAGA Man is brought to you by
It appears you hold all the cards, Mr. Trump. My fate is in your hands.
Has anyone ever told you you look like a donkey?
Yes. Many times.
Even facing certain death, you're defiant, like a petulant child. Well, it won't help you now, Maduro. Your time is up. F8.
You sunk my oil tanker.
Hasta el final, asshole.
Coño, carajo.
Oil Tanker, the new game from Bilton Madley, proud sponsor of MAGA Man.
El papá de los pelucones.
This is not going to be easy, but we'll make him talk. Torture, blackmail, bribery, whatever it takes.
He's going to steal all the gold in Fort Knox.
Well, that was easy.
That's what you're talking about, right? The Porridge Pourers heist? More money in there than a Somali daycare. A lot of gold in Fort Stocks. I mean, Snort Fox. I mean, Sports Rocks. No, I mean, you know the thing.
So it's a heist.
Was that supposed to be a secret?
Oh yeah, that's a secret. Don't tell anybody.
Okay, Joe, sure thing. See you soon, buddy.
Did somebody say secrets? You would not believe how much money I stole through Ukraine. And you didn't really think I got 80 million votes, did you? And wait till you hear what really happened to Barack's personal chef. Tell him the big guy sent you.
Yeah, we got to talk about this. And before y'all come at me in the comments, this is a personal testimony as someone who has dated outside of my race. Plenty, okay? A lot of y'all like what you see when you date a black woman. You love the beauty of black women, which I can't blame you. You love the aesthetic. You love how different we are. You love our bodies. But the problem is a lot of y'all don't even like black people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Bruh, where are my black women at that have dated white men? Because y'all know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. The black women who have literally experienced being called the N-word by the white man that they're dating. Let's talk about white men that have literally had children by black women but can't stand black people. Why do y'all do that? It honestly, I'm discombobulated because make it make sense. Hold up, let me do some math real quick. Yeah, it's not adding up because how you gonna date somebody and then just pretend the whole time like you really mess with them and fuck with them, and whole time you racist as hell, can't stand me. True story. I have a friend who's half white, She says her dad is a stone cold racist. When I say this white man hates it that his daughter identifies as a black woman, explain that to me, please. I want to know. Get in the comments and explain it to me, because y'all been doing this shit since slavery and even before then. Yeah, because we haven't forgotten. We ain't forgot. So y'all need to stop. If y'all really aren't down for black culture and black people, stop dating us, because it's actually very disrespectful and it's hurtful. And I'm not with it. So stop.
All right, 1 2 1 2. All right, we in here. Let me turn my mic up. All right, what's up, y'all? let's cover some random shit that we streamed earlier today. Tech support stream. That was actually pretty good. But yeah, let's do some random shit. I felt like streaming tonight. I'm gonna be on for like an hour or so. Actually, I saw this right before I came on. I didn't even, man. I've been studying in like in a bubble all day. I didn't even. I don't know. Is this recent? Was there really another school shooting? They said it was a transformer. So let's take a look at this real quick.
New photos have surfaced of the transgender ex-student that police say is responsible for the deadly school shooting that took place in a remote part of British Columbia. Now that's Jesse on your screen. You can see full name Jessie Van Rutselaar showing off with glee a rifle, smiling broadly while sitting on a couch with another person. Now, according to other photographs, this is sort of like the only photo that we've seen of him where he was actually smiling broadly. Many on Facebook had him sort of tight-lipped. Now, police say the suspect was found dead from what appeared to be a, quote, self-inflicted injury. The suspect is accused of killing 2 family members at home before opening fire at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School, killing...
Yo, once again, say the Sunday show. What? You gotta give it to Tito. He's the only one I heard call this, that it was going to be a whole bunch of transformer militias doing mass shootings after the Trump election. Nobody saw this shit coming.
At least 6 and wounding at least 24 others. Watch here.
I will say this, we identified the suspect as they chose to be identified in public and in social media. I can say that Jesse was born as a biological male who approximately, in the information that I have, approximately 6 years ago began to transition to female and identified as female both socially and publicly.
In New York Post opinion writer Bethany Mandel writes that she wants the mainstream media to quit gaslighting the public on trans mass shooters. A fascinating op-ed, Carly, that went into the fact that the media is sort of stoking and fomenting this dysphoria and potentially a lot of negative and fatal consequences.
Yeah, and when I first read about this yesterday, it was reported that a female school shooter died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And I thought, wow, that is rare, unless wound up being the case here. And, you know, I think this is a delicate thing to talk about because gender dysphoria is a real thing. And the people who have it do not want to feel like they are stuck in the wrong bodies. But even when those people commit the most horrific act you can, which is taking the life or lives of other people, this happens repeatedly. There are members of the media who will, yes, report the crimes, but then seemingly give a hat tip to the killer by using their preferred pronoun and using their preferred.
Well, that's not enough word, but I see Trump's making some reforms with the women in sports and a couple other things. I posted a meme in the community tab that even Russia and China is clamping down on this. Well, you already know what it is. I guess the next mass shoot is going to be a transformer as well. The story to change normally would be, well, around this time of the year, it's always a supposed white supremacist going in, doing shootings on like black suspects and everything, but that type of shit apparently has lost its cachet. I want to jump to this shit over here in Philly because I'm from Philly, and I saw Conservative Perspective posted this earlier today, and I didn't know this.
My name is Sheila Armstrong. Some of y'all know me, some of y'all don't. I have to be honest that I'm not happy to be here today because of what God had put on my heart to say today. I really try to stay in my lane. I created Cooker for Autism so I could do my advocacy work in peace and mind my own business and just help the people that I like to help because I don't do politics. I don't like politics, and y'all know this. God put on my heart a warning that is coming from the book of Matthew 6:5 and Matthew 23:15. The message is, woe to you, elected officials of the law. You are hypocrites. Woe to you that organize on the backs of parents and students of the affiliate school district, but yet more schools are closing. Woe to you that supported the plastic bag ban, but manufacturers are using plastic for everything. That hardship of people paying for bags to take their grocery home. Woe to you that supported the resign and run legislation, but now trying to change it because it now affects you. Woe to you that shout one Philly, but villainize those that disagree with you. Woe to you that claims to be representations of God.
She got a bad wig, but she's telling the truth. This new mayor and the city council could turn Philly into a shit show. Yo, what up, Lord of Brooklyn? What up, man? Just going through some random shit. I was up. I couldn't sleep. I wanted to stream. I'll be on here for an hour, so I'm gonna go through a couple things though. But this is down in Philly. Apparently this blew up in the Philly City Council. I'm from Philly. I happen so I'm actually trying to see what the hell's going on too.
But support legislation that is against him. Woe to you that says you support women and talk bad about any woman that stands against you or whatever your policies or anything that you're doing. Woe to you that work for special interest groups that donated to your campaign, but leave the rest of us people out here desperately searching for hope from somewhere. Woe to you that continually saying the ICE out because in these streets, it's being interpreted as illegal immigrants is in. And that this council cares more about illegal immigrant than the American citizens in this city. Woe to you, elected officials, hypocrite.
All right. Man, I ain't been back to, but I knew it, man. I knew General Philly, the hood in particular, wasn't going for all this no ICE and have the city flooded with illegals. All right. Let's see how this go. Hold on.
Woe to you.
Boy. So we got to go out to Philadelphia, aka Wokadelphia, right? As they are considering an ICE crackdown, right? Larry Krasner, the Soros-backed, delusional, unhinged DA, basically is threatening to hunt down ICE agents like Nazis, right? Like they hunted down the Nazis. That is what he's threatening to do to ICE agents as the city council considers a slew of bills of legislation in order to push back against federal law enforcement enforcing the law.
I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. As we continue to look at local resistance nationwide against Trump's crackdown, we go to Philadelphia, where a group of at least 15 city council members have backed a package of 7 bills aimed at combating federal immigration enforcement operations in Philadelphia, including codifying the city's sanctuary protections. The bill would also prohibit federal immigration agents from concealing their...
What? They trying to turn Philly into a sanctuary city? Man. Y'all better get on that. We got a Keisha mayor, a bunch of Keishas in city council, and Philly politics is corrupt as shit. And we got that Keisha sheriff. Majority of Pennsylvania is red. The only thing that's really been keeping Pennsylvania blue, if not purple, is Philadelphia and Harrisburg. Those 2 big metropolitan areas. Gotta get these Keishas up out of here, bro. Yo, they turn Philly into a sanctuary city. That shit gonna get ugly.
Identities, covering their faces, or using unmarked cars. It also requires judge-signed warrants and prohibits city workers from cooperating with ICE. The efforts are being led by Philadelphia City Council members Kendra Brooks, who will join us in a minute, and Rue Landau. They co-authored the legislation package. All but 2 of the city's 17 council members have co-sponsored the ICE out.
So they got 2 Keishas to push the bill for it. Makes sense. This is y'all fault for voting these Keishas in the office. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
package indicating the
This is a case of like you get what you pay for.
legislation may have a veto-proof majority. In response to the legislation being introduced, Philadelphia Mayor Cheryl Parker made one of her first public statements about Trump's immigration raid, saying on social media, quote, "We're aware of the potential challenges we face. We understand."
Look at this Keisha Mayor. ICE out. So that means Philly already got enough problems. We got a Keisha Mayor up there trying to divert city resources to illegals. I'm gonna tell you, that's what y'all get for voting in the Keisha Mayor. You're gonna run that city into the ground.
And the public's fear of the unknown as it relates to federal policy associated with immigration, unquote. Meanwhile, Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner has launched a national coalition of prosecutors that would hold federal immigration agents accountable if they're found to have violated state or local laws and civil rights protections. The coalition includes prosecutors in Virginia, Arizona, and Texas. Last week, DA Krasner issued this warning to federal immigration agents.
This is a small bunch of wannabe Nazis. That's what they are.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I know the midterms is coming up, but if Trump don't stomp this shit out, this is like an insurrectionist spirit, and it's just not good for. I don't care where it's coming from. It's just not good for America as a whole. If Trump got to, we'll see how that shit's playing out in Minnesota, but he's got to stamp this this insurrectionist talk against the federal government out from these cities and these states officials before this shit really gets out of hand.
In a country of 350 million, we outnumber them. I, along with a bunch of other state prosecutors, are rallying around Mary Moriarty, who is the prosecutor in Minneapolis. I know for a fact she is working 24/7 to make sure that there is justice coming out of two, what appear to be, by all indications, criminal homicides, and what appears to be, by all indications, a criminal shooting of someone in the leg. I want you to understand that just as you have come together, there are state prosecutors coming together right now to make sure that people understand there will be accountability. There will be accountability now. There will be accountability in the future. There will be accountability after Trump is out of office. If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identities. We will find you. We will achieve justice, and we will do so under the Constitution and the laws of the United States.
Yeah. So you say that, you heard that. Okay. Larry Krasner saying that he wants to hunt down ICE agents like they hunted down the Nazis. And people wonder why liberals continue to win Darn Awards for engaging in stupid behavior, trying to obstruct ICE, right? Because when you believe that ICE are Nazis, right, or you compare them to Nazis and the secret police, then in their minds, violence becomes justified. And when that happens, again, that is how they win Darn Awards. This is why I say that blood is on the hands of these Democrat leaders who would never do the things that they are gaslighting their constituents into doing. Blood is on their hands, right? With stuff like that, okay? So with that being said, it seems as if there are a group of black Republicans in Philadelphia who, just like the black Republicans in Chicago, may be in a liberal city, but they're fighting to flip the city red, right? They're saying enough is enough. We no longer want to allow this city to be a liberal hellhole, a bastion of Democrat Party politics. We want to flip it red. And they showed up. They pulled up to this city council meeting to express their displeasure with their attempts to ICE out, right? To basically obstruct ICE in the city of Philadelphia from deporting illegal immigrants. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
My name is John McCauley. I'm with a grassroots organization called Flip Philly Red. We're here to give something different to Philadelphia, something that y'all are not used to because you've been voting Democrat.
Okay, black man. All right, they must have got some inspiration from Chicago. Flip Chicago red. Yo, I knew there was a bro. Yo, it's a heavy manosphere presence in Philadelphia. And a lot of that is why we was able to flip Pennsylvania red this past election. Yo, I knew some of the brothers was conservative down there. All right, they finally coming out of hiding. All right, let's let this brother cook. All right, I'm glad to see this shit. We gotta get this liberal shit up out of Philly.
For the mayor's office for the past 70 years. It's not MAGA who's doing all of the carjacking and the shootings. When we talk about ICE, when 78 million people, 7 swing states, including Pennsylvania, we voted for this. We voted for this. We gave a mandate. So I want to sit here and tell U.S. Senator John Fetterman, U.S. Senator Dave McCormick to vote yes and support H.R. 7147. I sit here in disgust as I watch Kendra Brooks, Jamie Gunthier hold up pictures of a domestic terrorist, Renee Good. I'd never seen her put up a picture of Dakara Thompson, a 19-year-old who was raped and murdered by an illegal alien and thrown over a bridge. I never seen her put up a picture.
Yo, Philly niggas know how to bark when they on it. Okay. I like this energy. I like this energy. This need to. All right, I know they got the Chicago red. They doing the flip Pennsylvania red too. Oh, this need to pick up some steam and traction. Let me let old boy cook.
Lincoln Riley, who was raped and murdered. I never seen her put up a picture of Larisha Thompson, a mother. I named 2 black women, by the way. And y'all sit here and pander to white liberal women like Renee Good.
Could you speak on the resolution?
I'm speaking on all of it. It's my first amendment right. I'm gonna speak. It all goes hand in hand.
Just make
because
sure
we
you speak
funded
on
to
the
deport
resolution.
20. We wanted a fund. We want a fund to deport 20 million illegal aliens that was imported in here by the Biden and Harris administration with the help of the cartels. So won't y'all stand up for Americans for once? Because America comes first. Y'all need to understand it. We don't want to pay our taxes to house these empty.
Thank you for your opinion. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Name is
again, guys like this, shameful. Absolutely shameful. This dude is making a good point, right? The point is that you have all of these people running around here talking about
in local politics in Philly, yo, that is the bastion for the old comfortable Negro, bro. That is the bastion for the old comfortable Negro. The machine politics in Philly is crazy. A lot of corruption in Philly and local politics. I like this little MAGA movement with the black brothers of Philly. I'm really hoping that should pick up some traction. But most of all, on top of that, I gotta stop voting these quiches in the office. Let me switch gears real quick because I seen Passport OG put this video out earlier this week. And this is how I know it's close to the midterms and we getting it in.
Have children, then you're the problem. And it's just very difficult.
All right, hold on. So this FD signifier. So whoever's paying his check, and then the other boy from what is it, Grits and Eggs or whatever podcast. That one attacked FBA and was making an argument for black people to side against ICE and support the illegals. So that's a Democrat-funded talking point. And now all of a sudden you got FD Signifier popping up out all over the place. And he's on this podcast with Jam called Jam, which looks suspect as hell because it's all young boys in this nice-ass studio. They got 100,000 subscribers. and they're talking to liberal politics, but I peeked immediately toward the end. The only piece I want to, and shout out to the couple people that covered this. I think it was BGS. I think Mr. Z covered it. This is Passport OG, but they go on a full scale assault, like attacking Kevin Samuels. I mean, Kevin been going for a while, but attacking his character and his legacy. Like I said, that's a when they're doing that, that's like a paid. That's coordinated, and they got to destroy the whole Kevin Samuels mythos, if you will. Because Democrats are bleeding black men, and it's hurting their feminist agenda. So let me see if I can get the right part.
To agree with, because simply put, the guy that they're making fun of, Kevin Samuels, is closer to the average black men than these guys.
Bingo, that's what I want.
We're taking the stance that if you don't agree with us, then there is not going to be any saving of the black community. You need to come closer to our position than the position of Kevin Samuels. And you can hear their argument against Kevin Samuels, even dealing with his health issues as a black man in America.
Kevin Samuels, around the time like it got so bad, like their kids our generation that was really on that Kevin Samuels shit, because it like created that line to like the Tates of the world and everything. So I remember even seeing like when I seen he died, and I seen like what the stream would happen, and when I seen what the online discourse.
All of these young boys is moist, bro. They all moist. Single mother rate. And like I said, look at the studio. This is all a paid psyop. This is like social engineering. They're trying to bypass and make sure they catch that they flip disease and they hold on to the disease that they need. But very important to this that they're black. So that means that there's focus group information somewhere, and they're worried that they're losing the black male over on the liberal side. And these young boys is all moist. Sorry, if y'all can't pay attention. And like even with this, like you'll see how like they're all giggly and giddy, laughing at Kevin Samuel pass. Dudes just don't do that in general. And then they're not all high-pitched voice laughy giddy about it either.
I was like, I ain't never seen some of you niggas this broken up about like, man, like what are we doing? It was the clips that I was seeing is some crazy.
It was groups of full-grown men going down the street and marching for this.
And you would have thought he saved the black community.
I seen like at least 10 to 15 grown ass just online bawling their eyes out because of Kevin Samuels.
It's so sad.
It's
and he was a Republican. A lot of people don't know that.
He's a Republican. I didn't know that.
He's a registered Republican.
Okay. Wow.
Like, what's the problem with that? What does him being Republican have to do with anything? If those are his political views, what's wrong with a black man having his own agency? And that's the beginning of the problem with their argument. Essentially, if you don't agree with their politics, their way of doing things, their views on feminism, black feminism, the fact that the black community is messed up because of black men, even though the majority of black men don't have children, then you're the problem. And it's just very difficult to agree with because, simply put, the guy that they're making fun of, Kevin Samuels, is closer to the average black men than these guys are.
4'6", 125 pounds. Even if I believe you're 157, 160, you're almost 33 pounds, 33% over your ideal target weight. And you have, listen. If you're average to cute looking, if you're below average health from a weight standpoint, and you have 2 children, overall, does that make you below average, average, or above average? Factor all those things in together.
Sad.
And
he was a Republican. A lot of people don't know that.
He was a Republican. I didn't know that.
He's a registered Republican.
Okay. Wow. It sounds like,
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. You hear it if you think about it hard enough, because his core guiding principle was anti-blackness.
Yes.
Just period. And it just so happened, as a black man, he aimed it more at black women.
Wow. This is like I said, this is a paid. I'm sure he believes some of this also, maybe more of it. But this is pure propaganda spear, and he was clear to make it known that Kevin was a Republican. So that by default makes this a Democrat liberal op. If we do a Sunday show, we'll try to recover this. I see guys covering it in the space. They're doing a pretty good job at it. I will say this: the fact that where are we in February? The fact that they're rolling this out now, so this is like 6-8 months before. Yeah, it's about 6 months before. This is the rollout for the midterms. They don't want to see any type of spike and black male voter turnout with regard and voting any type of Republicans in on the down ballot, in the midterm ballot. They're trying their very best with a social media. They're learning. I'm seeing them pivot and restructure the social media blitz. They decided to put Michelle Obama on the on the back burner with her failed podcast. So they're calling in the soy boy men. You know what I mean? Calling in special forces. Calling in the soy boy butt plug warriors.
Yeah,
and
people don't even. And I remember the day he passed on stream, and we were talking about it. You said, I'm not gonna say it. What did I say? You was like that nigga. I think we was. I was trying to be correct.
It's the funny. No, you good. Oh, I was literally making my first Manosphere video, and I just finished recording this section on him, and I in something ugly because I was like, I know he's gonna come after me, so I'm gonna just have to go in. It is what it is. And then I literally stop record. I look like this nigga died.
And this is why they are gynocracy warriors. This is a black man who died of cancer. He was married twice. However he passed away, we can pass our judgment one way or the other, but these are black men laughing at another black.
Yes, they are gynocracy warriors, Passport OJ, but I prefer the term butt plug warriors. And I know FD Signifier's married. Well, I think his wife pegs him. You heard? I'm just disgusted watching this shit.
Black man who succumbed to cancer, to illness, and they're taking delight in it. And the reason why they're taking delight in it is simple. It's because the people, the women that follow them, want to see this. They're not talking about the lives of black men and what black men want in relationships. They're not talking about the angle that Kevin Samuels came from and said, he is offering a bargaining chip that many black men are saying they want, and we need to confront this with the people that support us. No, they're essentially saying our audience hated him. He was bad because he didn't agree with us. Bad man, bad. He's bad, bad. You like him, you're bad.
Overall, does that make you below average, average, or above average? Factor all those things in together.
Average.
So why should you get anything over? Then why should you get above average? What do you mean settle for? You should get what you are.
I see millionaires with average women all the time.
They don't have big chest tattoos either, and 2 other kids.
So bullshit. I hear Kevin Samuels dying. I'm like, hey, bro, y'all gotta chill. Hey, RP to my JJ come out of nowhere. That died on a girl or something. I'm like, she like that bitch ass died on a girl.
I apologize for the language. There's really nothing I can do about it, but I wanted you to hear it as it is. Hearing the glee in these guys laughing at the fact that he died the way that he did.
Yeah, this shit is crazy. I'm gonna put it this way: if this is how the overwhelming majority of this batch of Gen Zers are, you guys are fucking doomed.
And them laughing at the fact that he died with a young lady present. Now, it was a sad day for many people that cared about Kevin Samuels or even cared about black men. But for these guys, the gynocracy warriors, it was a holiday. And it remains a holiday 3 years later. He's gone. The Wicked Witch of the West is done. And it's almost like nothing better could have happened for their own fame and for the ideas that they're pushing, or should I say the future of the black community as they see it.
He's like all that shit that was talking. It's like one of the funniest clips from
died, like had a heart attack from like Viagra.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the full details. Yeah. First off, listen, shout out to all the black men my age with high blood pressure and heart issues. But he was not taking care of himself. He was such a fraud. It's really wild that like he made a lot of money in that short period of time, but he was in so much debt, credit was so fucked up, and had not really had any of those high value traits to take care of himself. And if you ever watch his streams, he's down in Red Bulls one after the other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like,
he would just be sitting there drinking Red Bull, drinking whatever. Yeah.
And then you add probably, I don't know what he may or may not have been taking.
Yeah.
But it don't take much to you know,
and the guilt of doom in your whole community and shit. Like, that's not good on the eyes.
He was already talking about like previous health issues. Like, I think he had like cancer before. Like,
I think he did.
Yeah, he did have cancer. Yeah, he survived.
Yeah. And these guys are advocating for the community. So, yo, SYSBM, MGTOW, yo, let that shit burn. Let that shit burn. Leave the soy boys with the quiches and let them have at it, bro. We don't want no part of it. And I'm sticking to my story. FD Signifier gets pegged by his wife.
Cancer. Man, I feel like he is kind of, and that entire like aspect of culture is indicative of a lot of like, it's no surprise where we are right now.
Yeah.
Right?
No. You can hear in this transition of the argument that this gentleman is about to make that essentially he's suggesting that everything was fine before Kevin Samuels, and then he came in and messed the black community up. But you're hearing the conversation they're having about a black man's health. Are they going to get other black men to come and subscribe to their values with this podcast? They are not. And they're missing the boat, even though they're trying to be the best gynocracy warriors they can be. But they're not doing a very good job of it because they're supposed to be recruiting other men. And this is not the way to do it.
It's no surprise where we are right now.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Because
people act surprised like there weren't signs beforehand. It's like, no, that's not how history works.
That's my thing. It's so incentivized when it comes to not even just like the algorithm. We even see how like TikTok is doing their shit with suppressing stuff now. Like they use consumption, but Oracle,
it's greedy. It's crazy now.
Now you see.
Boy, guys, eyebrows arched. These is butt plug thugs. You guys' eyebrows arched. They stay be having these backdoors and fruit mongers cosplaying as straight men. Like, they be playing in your face.
That happening. Right now, it was like stuff like that slop kind of gets like blared out. And especially like in our culture, which is why you see so many like young black men were on that path as well.
Slop. It's very interesting that he calls that slop because if you speak to some of the matriarchs, the elders, they have a message that's parroting not them, but someone else.
What we are watching on social media in online culture and across popular platforms every day is not empowerment. It's not freedom. It's not even confidence. It is public glorification of disorder, sexual chaos, and rebellion. And it is damaging women, misleading men, and confusing the next generation.
There's some good men out there. But what it is now, it's the women. It ain't the men no more. The women going bad.
You gonna flip the script on us?
Yeah, it's the women done going.
You a woman yourself.
I'm a woman myself, but I don't do half the things I see these women do now.
They don't care no more.
That means the men don't respect them. That's why. Let me tell you something, Amber. You got to give a man respect to get respect.
You said, so I should just settle for an average guy. And I'm like, you're an average woman. Why should you not get?
I would be settling. I mean,
why would you be settling and he wouldn't? So what would he be doing? Would he be upgrading?
He don't got no money. So if he don't have no money,
you ain't fine enough for no money.
I'm not fine enough for money.
No.
Everything we want from our men costs money. Everything they want from us just costs us to have a better attitude or a smile. That don't cost us nothing. But we withhold it because it don't go like our fairy tale version of how the relationship's supposed to go. We are sick people. It ain't just him that's got problems. We got problems too. And we the mother. Like I say, we have them before anybody. So if we want a better man, we have to raise a better man.
Looking back on the Kevin Samuels phenomenon, we can all understand what the true issue with the man was. He was a man who chose not to placate to the feelings of the young ladies he was talking to. He told them the truth. He told them what they needed to hear, that the world was going to get colder and that a man that is quote unquote average will take care of you. But much of the messaging that they're getting is that Black men aren't any good and you shouldn't have to settle for any Black man that is not at least better than you, quote unquote, by this modern definition, when someone who cared, Kevin Samuels, was essentially telling them, hey, listen, this world that's coming is not going to be anything pretty. You need to get realistic about the way things work and, quote unquote, settle. And you can understand how offensive the idea of settling is, because what a real democracy warrior is supposed to do is what you're seeing here in Akari Warriors. Anyone that's in my way that's going to make me feel bad or not give me what I want or not acquiesce to the reality that I want or need so that I can have a soft landing is an opponent to be dealt with.
Shout out to Passport OJ. I think I shared this on the community tab too, or somebody beat me to it. I think it was Red Sigma, and then I reposted it. And shout out to the content creators that actually covered it and took apart this FD Cygnus Fire's basically character assassination to Kevin, and really pushing this feminist agenda on it. And you see that was all men there. It might as well have been all women. So yeah, the organized opposition to get you fools back on the plantation is real, bro. Get you fools back on the plantation and support these feminist agendas. And they are panicked this close to the midterms because they did not expect the outcome that they received during the Trump election, this last presidential round. They were genuinely shocked. They were genuinely shocked on election night on all the mainstream news because they were even putting out fake polls and everything. So they're trying to avoid that during these up and coming midterms, understandably so.
Now I want you to listen carefully, not just to the word.
All right, so let me do this. Kingdom Reacts clip because that it's a nice segue into what I was just saying about a temperature change happening in the overall political landscape with regard to Black voters, and them being displeased with Democratic policy. If you just hear it from the news, you would think the general public is not with a lot of things that are going on, but we got to separate the noise from the signal. As a matter of fact, right after I do this, we haven't been doing news desk, so we haven't been doing the by the number segment, but Rasmussen just dropped a new poll. So I want to see what the polling set is, and what these new numbers what the new numbers and general sentiment look like, since we are getting closer and closer to the midterms. Because Trump's going to have to pull this shit together before November. I'm not happy in general with the way. I mean, it seems like they've slowed the if you look at the deportation numbers between Clinton and Obama, they deported 10 times as many people as Trump. So he's got to get on the ball with that. And I don't care what anybody says. This blatant insurrectionist language coming from all these states and cities and elected officials, that's just no good. That's a dangerous trend. These people, that shit needs to be stumped up. And these federal judges, he's got a judicial revolt going on his hands. I mean, the other problem with that is I made the argument that with the mainstream media brainwashing like almost a dumber populace at this point, I mean, just think about it. It's going to start being harder to get, I mean, it was already difficult before, but jury trials, that shit's going to turn shit on its head, especially if it has any type of political or feminist leaning. Like, you're not going to even be able to depend on juries to call shit straight down the line. It's an insidious problem.
Words, but the posture behind them.
There's a reason that the other side is giddy about having Nicki Minaj, a rapper they despise, a rapper they don't respect, a rapper most of them probably have never heard one of her songs, and if they have, they're horrified. The reason they want her on a leash as their house pet, cuddled at Donald Trump's feet, the reason she is the new house pet is because they need, NEED, Black people to give them cultural cool. Black cultural cool has always been a powerful, powerful element in the country. Candace Owens.
Once again, Joy Reid is from the Congo. She's a tether. And she be cosplaying this black talk and all this slavery and Jim Crow. It's insulting because her people weren't even fucking here. Her people showed up after 1965. She's a tether.
Was brought into Turning Point USA to do that, to recruit rappers, to recruit Kanye West for a reason. It's not like they like rap music, but they needed Candace to do that. Well, Candace has gone off the field. She's no longer playing ball. So since Candace isn't playing ball, they need a new Candace. So they tried Amber Rose, but Amber Rose is not popular enough with Black people and also says she isn't Black. So that didn't really work. They moved on to their next gambit, which is to get the Trinidadian who doesn't care about the killing of Trinidadian fishermen, the rapper who hates the female rapper who hates other female rappers, who hates on women who are more popular than her, Cardi B, people who are better at cultural marketing than her. She'll never be Rihanna. She'll never have a brand like Rihanna. She'll never be Beyonce. She's a 40-something-year-old Black.
I'm telling you, this is what the tethers do. They get in and they sow dissension. They get in and they sow dissension, while at the same time pushing their own agendas and things that are in their best interests. Y'all better wake up.
Female rapper who clearly don't care that much about Black people or immigrants, even though she was an undocumented immigrant. She's the perfect foil to replace Candace. Nicki is the new Canvas. They wouldn't want her if they didn't need cultural cool. Their problem is she ain't cultural cool no more. So the Barbs, Nicki ain't shit and she ain't saying nothing. And
This bitch is like 50. What is she? 50 something, bro. Yo, what up, Theo Waff in the building? He said they should be sewing gloves for their kids. He's funny. Yo, Joy Reid gives me a headache every time she talks. Yeah, I got a new drop. Let's take a Ric Flair break. Joy Reid gives me a headache every time she talks.
I dress myself in cashmere. myself in $100 cleaning slacks. I dress myself in alligator shoes. I wear a $15,000 Rolex. I got Mercedes-Benz, Rolls Royce, that thing is house, other thing is still. Yeah, we don't care. I got Mercedes-Benz, Rolls Royce, that thing is house, other thing is still. Yeah, we don't care.
All right, yeah, Phil. We did a tech support episode today with Dak and Joshua. So I ran into a dude that just finished up Armageddon right here in Cali. He's 25. He's already got his SAA too. So I just told him come on the show today, and he busted up with Dak, talk about speed chops and everything else. It was actually a really good show. We talk about that on Sunday. All right, let's get back to Joy Reid with this nonsense.
Under little barbs, you can't tell me nothing. Y'all mad about it, be mad about it. But she's not going to work. But they're going to keep looking for somebody black to be the face, to put blackface on MAGA. And they know that cultural cool matters. That's why they're doing it. I'm done.
Wow. So you're implying that Trump, or MAGA rather, they just hire people. Wow. When someone suggests black support must be staged, managed, or used, that assumption carries a built-in hierarchy. It implies voters aren't decision makers, but we're props. Us black people, we're tokens and accessories.
Well, they use that type of verbiage because that's actually what that's stock and trade over on the left of the Democratic Party. You said you'll watch it tomorrow? Yeah, Josh, she said that he said I think he was in one of your earlier classes too. I think he said he was in class 6. He was in the class with Jay Fleming and Law, I believe. He said those are his he's an alum with those guys. And he said he met you for lunch in Austin before he actually took the class. Yeah, and I think he just turned 25. He was in the Army. So yeah, I was at Rico's. I was actually at Rico's studying for the cert. And he looked over my shoulder and saw what I was looking at, and he was like, "You looking at AWS?" And he was like, "I got my shirt." He was like, "I'm in this guy Fields." I was like, "I'm in Fields class too." He's like, "Yeah, I just got finished working on Armageddon." Yeah, it was just random. But he knew what the channel was. He knew who Machismo TV was. So yeah, it's the latest episode. I'll send you the link to today's episode. It was actually really pretty good. He said, "Yep, you know him." All right, cool. All right, let's get this out of the way, and then we'll do by the numbers. I'm gonna get up out of here.
Here's the question that nobody asked, though. If independent political thought only counts when it matches your preference, is that respect or ownership? I really want to know, because flipping the logic exposes something uncomfortable. If us black voters supporting one party are celebrated, but supporting another party, we then become mocked or diminished, then the issue isn't empowerment, it's compliance.
Facts.
And compliance narratives don't empower people. They classify them. Now, I want you to watch what happens when someone embraces choice openly. Boom. As the day comes to an end, I want to thank my new MAGA family, especially the woman I stan, Nicki Minaj. Stan is another word for super fan. Eminem kind of coined that with his song. Anywho, MAGA Barbie also went on the right. I want people who deep down want to transition to the Republican Party to go for it and make that transition. The Republican Party is the party of love and welcoming. This is what shakes institutions right here. Not a celebrity, not a headline, just the person saying, "Hey, I elevated and I chose." That shouldn't be revolutionary. That should be ordinary, if you ask me. But when ordinary...
she changed her name to MAGA Barbie? That's wild. Well, she paid her... And if I'm mistaken, I think Trump gave her a gold card for free. She ain't even have to pay the $1 million.
Let's talk about that cultural angle.
The real reason Nicki Minaj is being punished the way that she is because she's a black woman. Lil Wayne, Benny the Butcher, Icer Vezzo, PZ, 50 Cent, and Kodak Black are all MAGA. They were not punished or scrutinized the way that Nicki Minaj was. I wonder why. It's so funny because every time we have a conversation about the desire and need for black male leadership in our community, it always goes back to black women. Saying all of that to say black women really lead our community. That is why Nicki Minaj is being punished the way that she is. It's because she is a queen in our community and we don't have enough kings.
Oh, my bad. I had myself on mute. First of all, 50 Cent, he never came out and declared Donald Trump. He never gave his support 100% to Donald Trump. He just implied why he understands how black people support him. Now, whether people agree with this take or not, it surfaces a deeper conversation. Power structures exist everywhere. Music, media, politics, industry. And independent voices always face the same pressures: align or isolate. History shows that pattern repeatedly across ideologies, industries, and decades. But here's the deeper thought.
Yo, shout out to Kingdom React. His analysis has gotten way better. I mean, not like it was bad before, but like the last, I don't know, like 5 joints I've reviewed them. Even if I haven't like covered them on a random on my random shit podcast, his commentary's been getting really sharp. And like more maybe introspective isn't the word, but he's been conducting a lot of dots. It's not the same flat political analysis. He's getting really good at this.
Most never sit with. True influence doesn't fear disagreement. Only systems that depend on alignment do. And when independence shows up, people don't just interpret it politically. They interpret it spiritually. Which brings us to here.
The intercessors are still in control of this nation. We continue to pray over the president, whether you like him or not, because your intercession is not predicated on who you like. Since when do we pray for who we like? Your job as an intercessor will be ineffective if your feelings are involved. Your job is to pray, keep him alive, keep him convicted to you, and let him follow your will.
This isn't supposed to scare you in any way, shape, or form. This video is to call you to pray for your president. It's important to take serious that which what you see taking place around us, not to take cues from it, but to understand that we are in a generation who is highly rebellious and will stop at nothing to defy the very authority that God himself has given to us, especially for such a time as this.
I ain't gonna hold you. I actually have been seeing a lot of regular quiches, because Saul and I talked about this before. Like generally, like the black chicks that are quote unquote conservative, they're usually just like undercover divestors, and they're trying to get proximity to like white males in general. You know what I'm saying? So even like when like it's like a concern, if she's not married to a black guy or with a black guy, I just pretty much ignore them. But I've been seeing like everyday common like, you know, the TikTok, the ones on TikTok, they're not influencing nothing. You know, TikTok's for everybody. Just turn on your phone and just start talking. And I've seen it as a growing trend over the last 6 months. It's a lot of regular like black chicks, either questioning the Democratic Party or being like, yo, I like what Trump did with that. And I will also say this though. I think the whole FBA ideology is like helped foster that, because I mean, if you think about it, like a Occam's razor proposition, the Democratic Party has gambled, have doubled down on the immigrant situation. So, you know, because they need those votes, they need that voter block, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And with the delineation movement with the FBA, which you know encompasses a big part of like the Hotep and pro-blacks and, the quiches and whatnot. The fact that they've adopted it by default, them being like the delineation being like, well, we don't have anything to do with the, with what's going on with the immigrants and the deportations. That by default puts them at odds, at least on that policy point, with the Democratic Party platform. And then what I think is like you have a spillover effect.
Whether you like him or not, if you
ultimately they get measured by something tangible. You know what that is? Numbers.
It is interesting, though. I mean, Donald Trump has received a larger percentage of Black votes than any other Republican candidate this century. Right? There was a shift of, it was 4% when John McCain ran. Now it's about 15% for Trump. So I guess I'm curious to get your take on if he is regarded as a racist figure, which I do not agree with. How would so many voters be turning to him?
Well,
it is interesting, though. I mean, Donald Trump has received.
Great question. This is where rhetoric meets measurable movement.
Yup, that is why we like the facts. The numbers and the facts. Speaking of numbers and facts, we're at the 109-minute mark. Let's pull up my latest Rasmussen numbers. Let me get the hell up out of here. Let's do a drop and we'll take a Ric Flair break.
I analyzed videos of over 100 instances of Superman catching people falling from buildings. Superman dips 30% more to cushion the blow of white people than he does blacks. This is a clear indication of implicit bias. There's no way around it. Superman is racist.
What they neglected to tell you is that the white individuals all fell from skyscrapers. The black individuals fell from smaller
buildings.
Hello,
public opinion aficionados, and welcome to
experiencing
Rasmussen
significantly lower velocities.
And why does Superman live in Metropolis, the city with the lowest crime rate in America? Because it's also the city with the whitest population in America.
To heck with this. I'm moving to Poland.
Mr. Reagan.
I dress myself in cashmere. I dress myself in $100 cleaning slacks. I dress myself in alligator shoes. I wear a $15,000 Rolex. I got Mercedes-Benz, Rolls-Royce, step fingers house, on the fingers still. Yeah, we don't care. I got Mercedes-Benz, Rolls-Royce, step fingers house, on the fingers still. Yeah, we don't care. Yeah, we don't care. I got Mercedes-Benz, Rolls-Royce, step fingers house, on the fingers still. Yeah, we don't care.
All right, but let's do about the numbers and get the hell up out of this. Rasmussen. These are the latest poll numbers. On this one, it's not enough. Voters say Trump's wins aren't working. Let's see what the numbers are.
There was an absolutely jaw-dropping clip today out of Attorney General Pam Bondi's appearance before Congress, and this can't keep going on. It was really embarrassing, really, really embarrassing. I understand Donald Trump wants to stick by his people, but wait till you see it. I think it really kind of punctuates the shortcomings that a lot of people feel about the economic messaging of the administration, and also maybe kind of like the accountability bait and switch in really a horrible and ugly way. So we'll take a look at that. There's some good news. Donald Trump's approval is back up again today. We'll look at the chart. And also fresh new polling. And this is the kind of stuff that I think the Trump administration needs to really take a clear-eyed look at, because the signs are telling them that America expects more. So here it is, 10-period moving average. We're looking at the bright red line, and Donald Trump's approval rating spiked down to 41% last Friday. It's obviously not as low because of the 10-period moving average, but it wasn't a one-day thing. It was a multi-day response bias. That's when America basically freaks out, has a little bit of a temper tantrum, has a little bit of a cry, and they did. They cried. You can look at Epstein's search volume and overlay it with Donald Trump's approval, and they both moved the same day. And they moved a lot. And what really drew blood was the 34% under 50 approval rating. Not very good numbers, especially when Donald Trump hit a 60% last March. And not Biden territory, but that little red line went down there and pretty much kissed Joe Biden's approval rating where it was 4 years ago. In fact, there were a couple of days where Joe Biden's approval 4 years ago was higher than Trump's was, but it's back at 45% today. And you could say, all right, well, -9, 45%, not too terrible. And that would be correct, but it's also about on average where Joe Biden was at the end of his term. And so when you look at Trump's approval, like, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, that's not good. And that's why I like Rasmussen. He just reads. At times he would like the numbers to be better for Trump, but he just reads the numbers and calls it like it is. Well played, sir.
Sell out. I don't even process these daily numbers myself. Nothing has changed in our methodology. I haven't changed the weighting. This is literally the same poll that Donald Trump had a 2.4 point lead in back in the end of October, and I've changed nothing. And so Donald Trump's lost, double digits of support. It's just a reality. I'm sorry if you don't like that. I'm sorry if your personal portfolio is doing super well, but this is the reality. This is what Americans think, and you have to face that. Throwing all of Trump's accomplishments at me doesn't do any good, because I don't make these numbers. America makes these numbers. And fine if you want to stick your head in the sand, if you want to go cherry pick another pollster, if you use me all fall in 2024 and now it's like you can't take it, I guess some people need to.
Nah, call the numbers straight down the middle, Mark. Massive wins, but I think the mainstream media have done a very good job at pushing negative public opinion. And that standoff in Minnesota with Walton or what have you, that didn't help. I will say this, though, the biggest saving grace is that the majority of the rank and file black people stayed out of it. And it left it looking like a bunch of crazy Karens and weirdo transformers and furries out there causing most of the problems. So I've said this maybe I think about 2 weeks ago. He's got 6 months to pivot and try to pull these numbers back up. But like I said, that's why I like Mark, because Mark just reads the data. Even if he's not happy with it.
Keep their cognitive dissonance intact. I don't know what to tell you, but I think you need to be a little bit tougher than that. And, refresher, Democrat +5. I'm at Democrat +6. Look, so is Emerson and the New York Times Siena. They were actually pretty good this fall. And now we're like exactly the same. Like, I'm sorry. The Democrats are winning the midterm election as of today. And you could say, Mark, you're hurting him. You're too late. No, I'm not hurting Trump. I'm trying to give him advice. I'm trying to help him win. Get him focused on the things that America loved that he promised them on the campaign trail. But here's the clip I'm talking about. And let's just take a little listen.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked.
Question.
Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan,
She was asked how she's going to hold the co-conspirators in the Epstein files accountable for their criminal activity. And remember, America hates two-tier justice.
Yeah, Bondi's fucking crashing. She's fucking crashing and burning. And she completely fumbled the Comey thing. She completely fumbled Letitia James. And this Epstein thing is a friggin' debacle. and I only saw bits and pieces of it. For her, her performance at this congressional hearing, she was fucking terrible. Just this one little clip that he's playing, she sounds like a moron.
And they're begging for justice here. America is pouring over those 3 million emails. It's not going away. It is a cultural touchstone moment. And she said, no, here's the Dow. And as we know, the ownership of American equities are super concentrated at the top. A lot of people don't have stocks, especially the young people that voted for Donald Trump and the Republicans for the first time. This is really out of touch. She's saying, no, you're not going to get accountability. No, you're going to continue to live under the perception that you have that the elite can get away with anything. And, the elite have a lot of stock. And so it's good for them when the Dow's up. It's literally let them eat stocks. Let them eat S&P. That's how out of touch it is to me. And it's like, again, if she was like chief economic advisor, I would at least understand if she was talking about the stock market. She's the Attorney General of the United States in an America that craves arrests. And she said, let them eat stocks. And the Democrats in Congress freaked out on her, rightfully so. America wants more economic populism. America needs the economic system reformed. They don't think it's working, especially for the youth. It's a crisis. It's a crisis. The youth don't think they're going to be able to afford stocks, most of them. And if they want to be effective, they really need to start tracking metrics like this. This is just one I saw today, but there are so many that you could look at. U.S. workers get the smallest slice of economic pie on record. And why is that? Well, because of the wealth, the power, the control of the corporations and the economic engine of the country is being concentrated into an ever smaller share. And it's the share that is kissing cousins with the government right now. Corporatism, corporate welfare, the oligarchy. We have an oligarchy problem. And I mean, I thought Donald Trump understood that. And I don't understand how the Republicans think they're going to paint a coherent vision of America's economic future and restore that golden age unless they're tracking metrics like this and not the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And of course, I'm a pollster. I have polling to back it up. And this is from October. This is really before the end of the shutdown. America was still kind of chill back then. You know, it wasn't as bad as it was now. How would you rate President Trump's handling of economic issues? And, he didn't do that bad. He got a 46% excellent plus good, 29% excellent, 43% poor. And yet, why is his approval rating better? Well, Americans are still feeling the squeeze. And he comes out and does these mission accomplished moments where he brags about, don't talk to me about affordability. Stock market's booming. When thinking about the economy, which is the most important aspect that must be improved? 17% say more jobs, only 5% say the stock market, 6% higher corporate profits, 47% lower grocery and energy prices, 8% lower home prices, 15% cutting government spending. So even cutting government spending, which Donald Trump really came out of the gate strong on, is 3 times more important to people than the stock market in this question, the way that we asked this, and overwhelmingly lower grocery and energy prices. And you could say, yeah, that's right. Trump stopped inflation. Yeah, but he didn't meaningfully make America cheaper. And you could say, look, the egg prices went down. And I would say, yeah, like, you know what? I spent less than $80 on eggs last year. Americans can't afford cars. They can't afford insurance. They can't afford housing. They go to the groceries and they're just bleeding out of their wallets. And yeah, fine. You brought down egg prices, but it's not enough. Performative politics is over. You have to actually do this. And I'm sorry that the Democrats don't need their elected leaders to be successful. I'm sorry, they don't. But if you want to win, Republicans, you have to. Your standards are different. That's just the way it is. The Yankees watch the Yankees because they are the Yankees. You're the Mets. Your team sucks.
That's a good analogy. That is true. The Democrats don't, they don't care if their elected leaders perform. At least the new MAGA base will revolt on the party. You already got a bunch of, I've been listening to noise telling Republicans to sit the midterms out and punish the Republicans.
And everybody knows it. And so they need, in my opinion, The economy America needs right now is jobs, higher wages, jobs. Remember, you got all those union workers for the very first time. Don't you think they're a little bit let down hearing you talk about the stock market? They want higher wages. America needs higher wages. You can't have meaningfully lower prices in an inflationary system. The system's addicted to inflation. And so if you can't meaningfully bring prices down, stop promising, because you're not going to be able to fill those promises, and talk about rising wages. You can actually jawbone about the economy. And you don't even necessarily need to accomplish this stuff. You just need to paint the vision for America of what the future under Republican governance looks like. And that should be a future with flatter wealth distribution. It should be a future with higher wages. It should be a future with less corporatism. It should be a future with more small businesses. These are things America overwhelmingly wants and would be good and positive for the economy. And this is economic populism. It was one of the cores of the movement. And it is not in any of the modern messaging. We are hearing the messaging of CNBC. Donald Trump is talking like CNBC. Young people aren't better off. No age signal, basically flat across the board. Old people are a little bit better off than everybody else. Black voters, only 23% say they're better off than a year ago. Donald Trump was in the 40s with black approval just a year ago. Only 15% of Democrats say yes. And obviously we expect them to be low. And obviously there was a switcheroo, a flip-flop between the party signal between now and the fall of 2024, obviously. But only 68% of Republicans say yes. Less than 7 in 10 Republican voters say they're better off than they were a year ago. And this is, all these people trying to say that Donald Trump's doing all this winning. But only 33% of independents, only 33%, 60% say they're not better off than they were a year ago. Oh, but the stock market's great. Oh, but jobs are coming back. Oh, but look at that jobs print today. It's incredible. And people are measuring it and saying it's not enough. And part of it is because they're still afraid of the system. They're still afraid of oppression. They're still afraid of waste, fraud, and abuse. They still look at the federal government and see a deep state. They see a swamp that has not objectively not been drained. And you know what else they see? They see a lot of people that can get away, allegedly, with murdering and eating children. And yes, that matters. Who really cares about the stock market if we have that much corruption and evil? How are you going to take that question? Will today's children be better off than their parents? That is stubbornly stuck in the mid-20s. How are you going to get that number to go up when people feel like their children are inheriting a completely corrupt country where literally any kind of evil is just allowed to exist? Is it easier for you to go and buy things in the stores than it was a year ago? Only 34% say yes. 55% say no. Again, no age signal. Only 58% of Republicans say yes. Only 24% of independents. Is there more or less unemployment in the country than there was a year ago? 41% more. Only 28% say less. And so it's like, yeah, there could be job reports. They could be good. But let's not forget that just 18 months ago, everybody on the right was looking at the BLS and thinking that it was all politically manipulated garbage. Now we're going to believe those numbers all of a sudden? Oh, well, Donald Trump reformed the BLS. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see any of that. But it's hard to look at 43% of America saying more unemployment and only 28% saying less. Look at that. Only 41% of Republicans say there's less unemployment, and their guy is in office. The guy is in office. Independents, 45% more, only 23% say less. But Trump did this, but Trump did that, but Trump is doing this, but the economy is going to come back. Well, that's a heck of a dice roll to bet, the future of the country on. And it's like, we do have time. We did have time back in November, but it's going to take leadership and focus and discipline. And it's very clear what America wants. America wants what Donald Trump ran on, because every one of those policies is by far more popular than he is.
Dang. All right. Straight shooter. I like it. And I think that tracks. I think that polling tracks. With casual conversations I've had and some of the general sentiment. Like I said, this midterm is going to be rough. And according to this recent polling, at least right now, if the midterms were held today, Democrats would win those seats, those majorities back. Man, I don't know what the deal is with this Bondi. I'm gonna play it by ear. She may be out by or after the midterms, and Kash Patel's in there. That's a 10-year appointment, but I'm not happy. I mean, I'm not happy with Kash either. I'm happy with the other cabinet appointees: Tulsi, Hegseth, Rubin, Besant. DOJ, yeah, they're dropping the ball on a lot of shit, and quite frankly, Patel be looking like he be having that he's in over his head look on his face sometimes, honestly and truly. All right, we're at the 1 hour 29-minute mark. That is my time for this evening. Good night and good luck.
I dress myself in cashmere. I dress myself in $100 cleaning slacks. I dress myself in alligator shoes. I wear a $15,000 Rolex. I got Mercedes-Benz, Rolls-Royce, that thing is hot, other thing is still. Yeah, we don't care. I got Mercedes-Benz, Rolls-Royce, that thing is hot, other thing is still. Yeah, we don't care. I got
Hey, where's Stewie? That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter.
There it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean, to play us out? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today, and we'll leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it, and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Stewie Griffin. Thanks for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.